Go.
It's August 4th, 2024, and I have the honor of speaking with Mr. John J. Jeckovich, a walking and talking miracle. Walking and talking miracle. You're lucky to be alive. Shot up twice, my friend.
Huh?
You're shot up twice. You got the Purple Heart and 2 brown stars. You had shrapnel in your leg, and you're crawling across the field in a battle of Bulge and lots of snow, and the sniper seen that red trail of blood that you're making, and he popped you right in the shoulder with his sniper rifle.
What's that?
When you're in the battle of Bulge, you were crawling.
Oh, battle of Bulge, come on.
And you were shot with a sniper rifle, correct?
Huh?
Were you shot with a sniper rifle?
A what?
Were you shot with a sniper rifle?
A typewriter.
Sniper rifle.
And yeah, in the window. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So you're lucky to be here, actually.
Well.
Not starting off too good.
Huh?
Not starting off too good.
You're good. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm with Mr. John J. Jeckovich. We're discussing his book called Their Mother's Sons, and we're on page 371, chapter 13, and it's titled Renee, Tripe, and Etampes.
Renee what?
Renee, Tripe, and Etampes.
Oh, yeah, camping,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Give me your keys. I'll check the mail.
Did you want to read or you want me to read tonight?
No, read it.
You sure you want me to read?
What do you want?
The keys.
Huh?
I'm going to go check your mail. Okay.
Okay. You're looking chipper today.
Chipper?
Yeah, you got new clothes on.
Brand new clothes, Dave. Come on.
They look new to me.
Look. I got no stupid button.
What the hell happened to your button?
Huh?
You got 20 pairs of pants.
Huh?
You have 20 pairs of pants. We'll have to get you another set.
20 pair of pants.
Probably more. You get something new every day.
Yeah, come on, Dave. Come on.
Okay, well, this is not starting off too
That's all
well.
right. We're good. We're good.
Do you want me to read or do you want... I'll let you just tell us about the war first. Maybe you could do that.
The war?
Yeah, anything you can tell us about the Battle of Bulge.
Battle of the Bulge is a misnomer. There's no Battle of the Bulge.
Okay. I thought they named it the Bulge because of how many American soldiers were stuck in the middle when they got caught off guard. I thought that's where the term the Bulge came from.
That's an all fairy tale. Fairy tale.
Okay, well, I better just read this book and not talk anymore.
Thanks for letting me read your book. You're not giving that book out there, Dave.
The book is right here. Well, this is going to be one of these days where we're going to plow right through it.
All right.
And we're getting emails from all over the place from Mr. Jeckovich to have questions, but if it's easier for anybody, just text to this number questions from Ms. Jeckovich.
Can you scoot over a little bit? I'm going to try to bring this camera over.
Mr. Jeckovich, in case you want to ask him a question about World War II, or if you want to just tell Mr. Jeckovich hello. He's in a real feisty mood, so this might be today. He might be a good time to ask him some questions.
What do you mean he's a little feisty?
He's good.
Keep in mind there was 16,400,000 Americans involved in World War II, men and women. And today's date, there's a little bit less than 100,000 left.
Yeah.
Less than 100,000 left. But keep this in mind. Out of the 100,000 left, there's probably only 8,000 or 9,000 left that were actually in combat. All the rest were just support. The men and ladies, for the majority of it, was support. It wasn't very, the numbers weren't big of the actual guys that did combat. So we're guesstimating in 2024, right now, in August, there's a little bit less than 100,000 total World War II vets left, and there's probably 8,000 or 9,000 combat World War II vets. Mr. Jeckovich is one of them. He didn't sit in the back echelon. He didn't sit behind the lines doing typing or organizing equipment and weapons. He was actually in the war itself, correct, Mr. Jeckovich? You're in the battle
I was
itself.
19 years old. I was 33.
Yeah, okay.
That's what they were, 33.
Yeah, you were 19 years old. And so, and we're losing them at a rate of about 135 a day. So here's a chance to talk and text to a real World War II vet. Even if you want to just say hi, text, or if you want a question, and Mr. Jeckovich is in a great mood today, and hopefully he'll get it answered. So text us anytime, day or night, and I'll be sure Mr. John J. Jeckovich gets a chance to read your text. One of the last living World War II veterans that was in actual combat with a Purple Heart and 2 Bronze Stars. And the number to do this all at is very simple to remember. It's area code 407-366-0000.
What's that?
If they want to text to answer you a question, Mr. Jeckovich, I'll text that number and I'll let you read it. Then once again to text a hello to Mr. Jeckovich or simply a nice question about history to a real, live, walking, talking World War II combat vet, 407-366-0000. 407-366-0000. And as they say in the South, 407-366, double lot. So here we go. Before I proceed, Mr. John J. Jeckovich, what is your dog tag number?
42965.
All right, that's the passcode for me to move forward. So here we are, just leaving the Paris hospital after shot up a couple times. And while he was in the Paris hospital, he met this beautiful lady named Renee, and he's doing whatever he can to see her as many times as possible before she's sent to the front line. Even so, I realized I was in uncharted waters regarding Renee, which made it even more alluring and enticing. I heard Renee say something about the Eiffel Tower, which brought back me to reality. I asked her to repeat that she said. We could go to the Eiffel Tower, she repeated, a little annoyed at my inattention. I took her hand, folded the fingers under mine, and sighed. I could not pay attention. I could not pay attention to you. I could never not pay attention to you. She thought for a moment, then smiled and put her hand on my cheek. We walked about the streets and sometime taking in a little all the bustle of the street sounds. It was a beautiful, spirited section of Paris that I would have never seen had I not been for Renee. We would stop and gaze at the many of the varied shop windows. On occasion we would enter, and Renee and the shopkeeper would carry on an accelerated conversation of which I understood very little. Was most of the shops in Paris at that time the stores on the bottom and the owners living atop?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's Christie.
Okay. There were open-air food markets which displayed an assortment of foods and delicacies, many of which I've never seen before. Renee would explain their composition.
City Market.
Original in taste, I would listen to her attentively as she pronounced her words in English. Several times during the day, I was unconscious of my inner thoughts. I would miss her greatly in just a few short weeks when I would return to my unit. This person that had befriended me with her penchant for life and determination to seek it out. Yet, her arcane subtlety gave me a cause for concern. Why were you suspicious or had concern about Renee?
Eh?
Why'd you have a concern or some type of suspicion about Renee?
Well, she's playing both ends to the middle.
Playing both ends for the middle, what does that mean?
Well, she's a spy for both ends.
So she was in the French resistance, and she was painting portraits of SS,
Yeah.
and then seeing you. So she played both ends.
She was getting paid too.
But I thought she was a future nun. I thought she was a future nun.
Never made it.
Never made it. And what did Mother Superior tell her?
Go to Vietnam,
What?
be a missionary.
And so what finally happened after Mother Superior's orders? What was the end result for Renee? How did it end?
She went over and got killed.
Why did they kill Renee?
Huh?
Why did they kill Renee?
Well, they thought she was a spy.
Did they kill the other nuns too?
If they think they're two-way, yeah.
Okay. Our eyes met and they telegraphed a message of love and hope. She smiled and I quickly looked away. We reached the sign and found a little sheltered park along its bank. We sat down at the solitary bench and took her hand and asked her if she wanted to rest here for a while. It was cool enough so that we could not sit too long without getting chilled. She snuggled close to me and crossed her legs. I put my arm around her as she rested her head on my shoulder, and her perfume awoke once more my lantern senses. I turned and kissed her. Her lips were warm and inviting, and I knew that attraction for one another had turned into something more. We kissed, and each time she would sigh something in French in her sensuous, sultry voice. I laid my hand on her. No.
Hey, what?
No, I'm passing a few paragraphs here. This is a family-operated business here. Suddenly we drew back, taking her thumb, and she began removing the lipstick smudges from my lips. Enough, she sighed softly, all the wiping her lipstick from our lips with her thumbs. I put my hand on her crossed legs and began to rub them gently. We both got up hurriedly and walked out of the isolated park and back into the busy thoroughfare with its jumble of people. I held her hand as we walked and sensed that we had reached another plateau of our relationship. Yeah, I'm sure you did. Let's see, page 373. Here we go. I had forgotten about the war and was brought back to reality of it by the partial blackout in effect in Paris. The war itself, basically, the Americans got in the war itself, basically on December 7th, 1941, with the invasion of Pearl Harbor. You weren't old enough to be in the service then. Do you remember what you're doing?
Sunday afternoon, if I'm about Pearl Harbor, I was out Jill Creek ice skating.
Ice skating. And who were you with? Friends or by yourself?
Yeah, I was outside with my brother, Lucky, I guess. No, I don't think it was Lucky. I think it was Stevie. I don't know.
But you're ice skating on a creek.
Yeah.
Next to your house. Did you play hockey on that creek?
No, we played hockey on our street. We over the fire hydrant, froze the street, and played hockey.
And what street was that?
Orleans.
No kidding. So you had a great enjoyment. You would open up the fire hydrants, and the street would freeze, and you'd play hockey right there in front of your house?
Yeah, street light there and everything.
Well, that's wonderful. Could you imagine today if you did that, they'd probably arrest you.
Yeah.
Probably arrest you. But prior to you hearing about December 7th, 1941, was there still talk about the Americans eventually going to war prior to that?
No.
So you had no inkling of any war.
I didn't think well, I was in draft, I was going to be drafted, yeah.
I know, but prior to the Pearl Harbor attack, were the Americans talking about any war?
No. Everything was in Europe.
So once that Pearl Harbor attacked, that set the place on
Yeah,
fire.
that woke them up,
16,400,000 men and women would be a part of that World War II on the American side. So you got drafted, and the reason why you waited to get drafted, you wanted to spend as much time at home to care for your mother and your sister. That was your reasoning of getting drafted.
Well, look, he joined the Coast Guard.
Okay, your brother Lookie, did he enlist?
Huh?
Your brother Lookie, did he enlist?
He enlisted in the Coast Guard, yeah.
Your brother Stevie, did he enlist?
No, he was in school. He
But
got deferments.
But how did he end up in the military?
Huh?
You said Steve.
After a while, they pulled her in, and he's teaching recruits in Virginia how to drive Jeeps.
Was he an excellent driver?
No, he hit 3, 4, 5 hard that I know of.
So why would he get the privilege of staying in Virginia while you're in the slop, in the ice, in the snow, in Germany?
Why?
Yeah, how come?
Well, that's the way it worked out.
Okay.
I was 19. I was 33. I was draftable age.
Well, you
19.
say 19 was your age. What's a 33?
That's 33 is 19, draftable.
Okay, so 33 is a code for 19. Is that it?
Yeah.
It was an operational code.
Operational
Code number,
Okay.
33. You're 33.
13 minutes.
So that's very interesting. I had forgotten about the war. It was brought back to reality of it by the partial blackout in effect in Paris. It was strange. I thought they were under partial blackout here. Where your mother and sister lived during the war was Niagara Falls, New York. Didn't they have a blackout?
Oh, yeah, they pulled the shades down and everything, yeah.
How about all the factories?
The what?
Factories, were they blacked out?
They turned their lights on in the parking lots and that, but they kept working because they were feeding the war effort.
An interesting fact,
They used to paint the windows black.
Hooker Chemical was a large factory there on Buffalo Avenue, Niagara Falls. Hooker Chemical. That's actually the chemical company that was responsible for Love Canal down the road further. But they painted all their factory windows black with paint. And 70, 80 years later, after the war, those factory windows, in my belief, are still painted
Black?
black. Yeah, they didn't remove them.
Yeah, I remember those windows. Those windows were only painted in administration offices and that. There were no windows in the factory, outside windows.
Okay. Didn't you say you should sleep out in your patio of your house at 3063 Orleans Avenue or the porch, and then when you woke up you were full of soot?
Yeah, that was on a porch.
Why was that?
That was from vanadium.
That was from Hooker.
They had big exhaust on the roof that exhausted all that stuff that they were making downstairs.
You stayed there for at least 50 years later. Was the situation the same 50 years later?
No.
It was
Well,
clean?
they're still there. They're still manufacturing.
But they didn't have the pollution they did.
Well, they had more sophisticated exhaust than that. Yeah.
Well, you were actually a little boy sleeping on your porch, and you would wake up with soot all over you.
Yeah.
And everyone just accepted it, right?
Huh?
Everyone just accepted it, just as it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you were lucky to sleep out on the porch.
Why was that?
We didn't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
Summertime, 85, 90 degrees. There you went on the porch, and it was 5 degrees cooler.
So that was a nice thing to do then.
Yeah.
Who would you sleep on the porch with?
Would I sleep on the porch with?
Yeah.
Well, the looker was home, he slept on the porch with me, and Stevie didn't sleep on the porch, no.
And what did you do? Put like cots out there?
The cots?
What'd you do? Put cots out? I'm trying to visualize this. Did you put cots on your porch, or how did you sleep on your porch?
Slept on the floor.
With a sleeping bag or something?
Sleeping floor had old mattress, old blankets put on the floor, and I sleep on top of those.
And was that on the first or second floor?
Second floor.
That was the second floor. Did you during the daytime put chairs out there to sit because it was so hot?
The what?
During the daytime, it was so hot in the house and there was no air conditioning to speak of back then. Did you sit on the porch?
Oh, yes, as much as you could, yeah.
Did your mother spend a lot of time out there?
Well, she had a rocking chair out there.
Uh-huh. And did you know most of the neighbors that would come by?
Yeah, just say hi there, and hot,
all
hot
nice
day,
people?
isn't it hot day, boy, it's hot today, yeah. No air conditioning. They never thought about air conditioning.
No, never even thought of
Had a
it.
little fan in the window,
And that was good enough.
yeah.
So let me ask you, when all the neighbors came by, were you very friendly with them?
Huh?
The neighbors, were you all friendly with them?
Oh, how you doing? Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, no, I'm not loading any more money, I'll see you.
This guy is something else.
Yeah.
He's not loading any more.
Huh?
Did you offer him an iced tea?
Huh?
Did you ever have him sit on the porch with you and offer them an iced tea?
Invite them on our porch?
Yeah, have an iced tea?
Nah, everybody stuck to their own porch.
They stuck their own.
Yeah.
As you're facing your house on Orleans Avenue, to the right, was Belinsky there by then?
No, that was all empty. I could have bought that lot for $2,400.
Are you kicking yourself in the ass now you didn't?
Yeah. Well, he put everything on my side. I had 4 feet difference between his house and my house. And then he put the shit house on the side of the window. Yeah, he was a bastard anyway. I could have had that.
Well, how'd you know the bathroom was on the side of your house?
Huh?
How'd you know that his bathroom was next to your house? How would you have known that?
Well, he had a smaller window in that house, in that room.
Oh, okay, so that indicated,
Yeah, Master put a little curtain in there.
yeah.
Yeah, he was a pain in the ass. Typical Pollock.
Was he born in the United States or did he?
He was born in the United States. His parents were born in Poland, but his parents talked Polack at home. That's why I had the accent.
Oh,
My
so,
parents said, we're Americans, we're going to talk American. I don't have no accent.
no. So let me try to understand this. Belinsky's parents came from Poland and they continued to speak Polish at their house.
I meant because because they talked Polack at home.
Did you ever meet Belinsky's parents?
Well, they were next door, yeah.
So you met them?
They were older people. Those older people, they stuck to themselves pretty much.
Okay, and then your parents, they came over. Your father said very strictly that we're in America, we're going to speak English.
That's right. We said there's no four languages in the house.
And there was nothing.
My mother was Polish, he was Russian.
So did your father also speak Polish?
My father?
Yeah,
No, he spoke half-broken Russian.
I see. Do you remember what part of Russia he was from?
Vladivostok.
And that's, if I remember correctly,
It's way up north.
if I remember correctly, that's way up north.
That's way up north.
Cold as hell.
Right where the ice is all winter, all summer.
If I remember correctly, that city is cold as hell, one of the coldest parts of Russia, and it's mostly hardcore factory workers there. It's really
Yeah.
a hard-working
Yeah,
person.
that's where they put the factories, yeah.
All the factories where your father came from. So I take it your father, when he came to the United States, he was an extremely hard worker because he was raised that way.
Yeah,
he was
he
raised.
picked it up right away, yeah.
Yeah, so he came with a hell of a heart.
He had no
with him.
problem doing his job.
So what type of work did your father do?
My father worked at Carborundum. He was a maintenance mechanic there, but after work, he had side jobs doing repairs on cement floors and cement sidewalks, doing fruit salads. I helped him with that stuff.
So did your other brothers help him?
No, nobody helped him. Steve
Just
didn't
you?
help him. Lucky didn't help him.
And so that's how you learned the trade of cement, correct?
Yeah.
From your father,
Well,
correct?
yeah, well, I wouldn't learn any other way.
And how'd your father learn the trade of a cement mason?
He did it at Carburetor. The Carburetor, he's a cement worker, a mason.
A mason. So he was an all-round handyman too, right?
Yeah.
So he could fix anything,
Oh.
your father?
Well, you mean mechanically?
Yeah. Because you
Well,
could fix...
no, I don't think he was that mechanically inclined.
Because
Because if he gets stuck, and I said, "Dad, I'll give you a help with it." Electrical, he wouldn't touch. Electrical, he wouldn't touch.
Because I know you're an electrician by trade and also you're a great handyman. I was wondering, I thought that you might have got that from your father's training. I thought your father might have trained you in electrical and being a
No,
cement
my father
mason.
didn't want to do nothing with electrical.
I see, I understand. How about plumbing? Did your father do plumbing?
Was I a seller?
Yeah, did your father do
No, Lucky was a seller. I wasn't a seller.
this?
You mean a salesman?
Plumbing, did he do plumbing work? You know,
Yeah.
putting in toilets and
No, I didn't do too much plumbing. Anadora did that.
And so your father, even though he had a full-time job at Carbrundum, he still worked a lot of odd jobs.
Now, do you go get supper and go out 7 o'clock, go out till 10 o'clock on the job? I was with him probably.
Was he an easy person to work with?
He didn't have a temper, but he wanted his stuff his way, and that was it.
And did you and him,
I found it easier to work with Uncle Andy than I was with my father.
no kidding.
Uncle Andy was really easy going.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Uncle Andy in a minute, but I want to understand, when you worked with your father, did you two make a good team?
Huh?
When you worked with your father doing cement and things of that nature, did you two make a good team?
Oh yeah, because I did what he wanted to do. I could anticipate what he wanted.
So there was no questions asked. If he
He
said, get
just
this
took,
back,
he didn't ask to look at your CV. I was the workhorse of the family.
you were the workhorse. So this is in the late 30s, early 40s, minutes?
2 minutes and 20.
This is in the late 30s, early 40s. What did you use for a cement mixer?
When we go on small jobs, we use a wheelbarrow, put it in a wheelbarrow.
So you mix your cement in a wheelbarrow?
Yeah, and after a while, we got a cement mixer, put it back behind the Ford Chevy or something, and pull it on the job.
So I know you told me your father had a beautiful Packard, unbelievably long limousine
Yeah, but that Packard never went out of the garage.
But you said your father and mother never drove.
No.
How would you get to the job sites if your father didn't drive the Packard?
No, some guy that was going to do the job for it, he had to come down and pick us up.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea why your father never wanted to drive even though he had a beautiful Packard?
He wasn't interested in cars. I mean, that Packard sat in the garage until Stevie got a hold of it. He took
But
it
your
to
father
school
must
every
have
day.
liked cars to buy such a fancy automobile, because Packard was right up in a class of
Yeah.
Rolls Royce and Cadillac.
Stevie took her to school every day.
Did you drive with him?
No, I walked.
Why didn't you go in the Packard?
I felt it was above my means.
Minutes.
1 minute.
So you wouldn't go in the Packard?
No,
Did your mother go in the Packard?
no.
Your father loved the Packard.
Well, him and my Uncle Steve, Stevie and my father, yeah.
But what about Sally? Did she go in the Packard, your sister?
Sally was too young. She didn't care where you went, as long as she went. He had that girl that played with that Figler girl and everything else.
Wow. Did you ever think when you had the means, when you were out of the service and gainfully employed, that you wanted to buy a Packard too?
No, never thought of it.
You had no ambition about it?
Never thought of it. Never thought of a Packard. Never.
Didn't your brother buy a Packard?
I don't know.
Steve? I thought you said you had a Packard full of newspapers.
He had a Packard in his garage, but he was working on it. He was working. He thought he was a mechanic. He was going to fix that Packard. He was working on a running board for 3 years and had 50 tons of newspaper in the back seat. And sat in his garage.